So overall, a lot of people ask me, how do I feel about Xbox going into the new year? I mean, we're obviously here. What do I think about it? And there's some interesting news. There's some cool things to kind of talk about, and I feel like it's probably smart to do a video and talk about it because I find it to be a very interesting topic. And and I've mentioned this multiple times before, and I think that it's just one of those things that as a fan, you have to kind of just look at it from a specific point of view, and you can change your opinion on it. I actually got an interesting, I was in an interesting conversation with a friend of mine who I've podcasted with before, and very strong opinions about Xbox for a long time, and he messaged me recently and was just like, I'm starting to kind of change my mind on some of the things that I thought were these big sticking points. I think that's an interesting take, because when you do look at the way that Microsoft are doing things right now, it's not as cut and dry as you might think. I can understand where Microsoft are coming from, certainly with some of the things that they do, some of the things that they say, right? Like, they realistically are probably going by what's happening with with kids, and I've got kids, and they play Xbox, and they enjoy Xbox, and they're having a real good time with that. And but the thing is when you look at the games that they play, it's very interesting, because they're playing like the typical games that you would think that people would play. So again, to me, that's just kind of an interesting type of situation. And I hope that Microsoft continues to offer some things. But I want to get into this because I think it's going to be a fun video. What's up, everybody? I'm Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews with another video. You guys are awesome for checking it out. Happy New Year. Please go ahead and like the video, as that helps out the channel tremendously. And again, like I said, there's a lot going on with Xbox. Like, there's no, like, whether or not you like Xbox is irrelevant at this point, because they are poised to have a great year, and they're going to have at least a good few timed exclusives. They, who knows if they're going to stay exclusive forever. But again, like I said earlier, I think that while exclusives are going to remain a thing for a lot of people, when you do, I can understand where Microsoft comes from, at least in the way that, the younger generation coming up doesn't care about them as much as we do. That's going to be tough for some people to kind of grasp and understand. But when you do see that, and you do see, okay, well, these people are, are kind of not worried about that. Like, Microsoft sees that. Like, my son plays Roblox and Fortnite and Marvel Rivals, and like these type of games, and they're available on everything and everywhere. And even though he prefers to play them on an Xbox, so I mean, that's pretty cool. And Microsoft maybe looks at like Steam, and they go, okay, well, Steam is this cool thing or whatever, and they don't have really exclusives. I mean, how often does Steam put out an exclusive? Like, Valve, most of their games, the Left 4 Dead stuff, and everything that they've put out has come to consoles as well. So they don't do exclusives. People still love them. They don't dog them. You know what I mean? People aren't going, oh man, that game, what a doofus. Like, they just don't. They don't do that. So again, we live in a slightly different world than maybe what people kind of would expect. And so for me, when I look at like, hey, what Xbox is going to be doing in 2025, I think is going to be kind of unprecedented, right? From a first party, and you look at it, and I believe that Microsoft has probably done the numbers, right? And when you do the math, so they probably figure something along these lines, right? They probably expect them to sell between 20-25 million consoles, and they expect probably the majority of the people that buy their consoles are going to be Game Pass subscribers. So you have that money. But because you're putting your games on other things as well, you're probably expecting sales as if you had, 100 million consoles sold, because you have your games on Nintendo platforms, you have your games on PlayStation, you have your games on PC as well. So not every game is going to do super well that way, but you do have some hits out there that are going to be really, really kind of awesome to see or whatever. So we'll see. Like I said, I think that that's going to be incredibly smart for them to really kind of go out there and do that. And, again, I think you still have to have some stuff there that's exclusive, and we'll see if they'll actually do that or if they'll be able to pull that off. But for me, anyway, I look at this and I just think, hey, they could be doing a lot of things. Like they could be bringing back backwards compatibility. They can be doing, a lot of interesting stuff that just makes it like a silly thing not to have an Xbox at this point. I just, or to be involved in that. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's probably kind of where we're at with this. And when we look at what Microsoft has to offer, I really do think that they have a fantastic year ahead. Yeah, there's going to always be like down things, but if you want to look at like some of the games that they have to offer, it's really, they're not just first party, because that's just part of the puzzle, but it's going to be a huge year. You know what I mean? You've got, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, you've got Avowed, you've got Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, you've got Monster Hunter Wilds, you've got the Split Fiction games, which, again, those games from the It Takes Two people are always so good, and that game's coming out early in the year. You've got, like I said, there's so many different titles that are coming out. You've got, and I'm just going over some of these real quick, Borderlands 4, right? Like, this could be the best year in gaming. You've got just Doom the Dark Ages. Yeah, that's not an exclusive, but still, it's a first party game. It's going to be in Game Pass day one. Apparently you've got even Elden Ring DLC. You've got Fable. I'm hoping that comes out. You got Greedfall 2. A lot of people like that. You got GTA 6. Now, hopefully this doesn't get delayed, but man, that's like anytime there's going to be a GTA game, massive, right? You've got Little Nightmares 3 coming out as well. I'm looking through this list right now, looking for some of the highlights. Here's one that I'm really looking forward to: Mafia: The Old Country. Right, I love the Mafia series. I've played them both on Xbox and PlayStation. This new one looks fantastic. You have, so many different things to look forward to. You got some new, Snake Eater on Xbox. That's going to be huge. Like, I love that series. You have South of Midnight, Splitgate 2, Subnautica 2. Terminator Survivor, looks like a new Terminator game. Outer Worlds 2. Now, this is so funny because people would get like, why are you pimping Outer Worlds 2? Man, I was late to the party with Outer Worlds, but that game in some ways surpassed surpassed some of the other things. You know what I mean? It surpassed a lot of of what Starfield was even trying to do, because it had a story and characters that you actually cared about. It was more fun, like I thought it was a little bit more fun, so we'll see if that's something that really kind of resonates with people kind of at the end of the day. But it's like there's so much there to really be excited about. I hope that it's a good year. You know what I mean? I hope that it is, and it does look like we're starting to get to that point where Xbox is really kind of starting to be on that roll that we want them to be on. So if you look at it, it's like they have Avowed from the first party, Doom, Fable, South of Midnight, The Outer Worlds 2, and Towerborn. And there's rumors that, we could see a Forza Horizon 6 thrown into the mix as well. And whether or not that's going to be something that actually happens, I guess we'll have to kind of hang on to and see if that actually does happen. But, it wouldn't surprise me, because the last one came out in 2021. So, 4 years, that's a long time. They used to get those games out every other year. So to me, we'll see what happens, and we'll see if it's something that can actually help push some Xboxes, or get people excited about being able to play these games. Because if there's a group of, let's just say, there's 6 to 10 games that you want to play from Xbox themselves, Game Pass becomes that much more of a bonus, right? Because you're not paying $70 a pop, and this isn't even counting Call of Duty, so yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this stuff plays out. But you can just look at it and it's like, $500 worth of games for, not even half that, and the first party stuff doesn't leave. So I think that is going to be huge this year for Xbox, regardless of what else happens. Even if they announce they could hurt themselves further by announcing a bunch more games going to PlayStation. but I think that they'll focus on just releasing the games, and hopefully we can just focus on that. So we'll see what happens, but let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Rack 'em up. Crab Gamer out.